And as far as that Nandigram seat is concerned, the residing officer at the Nandigram counting centre has announced that Suvendu Adhikari has won by 1,736 votes over Mamata Banerjee. So that is the final result in Nandigram, which has taken place. Quite a surprise over there. Remember, there was no backup as far as Mamata was concerned. It was that particular seat. But that's been announced. It's gone the BJP's way. Won't have a bearing at all in terms of the overall results. But let's listen in.
खान की चले बीजेपी ওদের পার্টি আমি ধরে দিয়েছি আমরা খান की चले बीजेपी ওদের পার্টি আমি ধরে দিয়েছি আমরা खान की चले बीजेपी ওদের পার্টি আমি ধরে দিয়েছি আমরা खान की चले बीजेपी ওদের পার্টি আমি ধরে দিয়েছি আমরা
NDTV Saurabh Gupta, who joins us now. Saurabh, Mamata Banerjee addressing the media just a little while back. Firstly, it appears her leg is all right now. She was rather sprightly walking upstairs. Of course, her leg was in plaster, and that the imagery of that would certainly have worked to the benefit of the Trinamool Congress. So A, she was rather sprightly today. B, she said, my focus is now COVID. So that's what's going to happen, right?
Absolutely. She said her focus is COVID and that she's, appealed to her partymen to not have any victory rally. She said we will decide and have a huge rally at Brigade sometime later when the COVID situation is over. But beyond that, what's happened in Nandigram is that while now the returning officers come, we've seen confusion all through the day. First, it was announced, or at least it came to be announced, that Mamata Banerjee had won. Then came the news that Suvendu had won. Then came the news that the Trinamool had asked for a recount. Now the returning officer says Suvendu has won. I believe the VVPAT is going to be tallied. But in all of this, there seems to be confusion and a cloud hanging over the results in Nandigram. What Mamata Banerjee does next is perhaps something that we will have a clearer picture of when she speaks to the media again tomorrow at 3 in the afternoon. But going by what she said earlier in the evening when she was speaking, she did seem to indicate that she could be taking this matter to court, but it's not clear whether she was talking about this exactly or the manner in which the Election Commission has functioned during this election. So these are the things that have happened. Clearly a stupendous victory for the Trinamool, but it would have been obviously the icing on the cake if Mamata Banerjee had won Nandigram without this cloud hanging over the results. But the EC has now declared, or at least the returning officer has declared, that Suvendu Adhikari has won. He's stated the number. I think there's a document also going around. But whether the Trinamool accepts it or not, or whether there's going to be further, sort of wrangling over this verdict is something that we cannot be sure of at this point.